I guess this will be the starting point. So, real quick, what's up, guys? Eddie Sandler here with Figs and Marquis. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves real quick.
Go ahead, Zeno.
I'll let him go. No, you first this time, man.
All right, yo, it's Figs here, Team FOE. Coming to you with a team talk with the big man himself, Zeno.
Zeno's small, but go ahead.
And the best sponsor, NA, Eddie St. Hilaire.
Go ahead, Marquis. Mr. Zeno.
So, what up, though?
He did too. He does. Bro, just sit there and make sure the camera gleam in his eye and it's like, so what up? Like, bro, ain't no females in town. I mean, there's probably a handful of females that play this game. Marquis, like, when he got up and caught his head like this,
he did too.
Sure the game was so what up, guys? Come on, man.
Yes, after
always.
I'm dead, bro. I'm dead.
Yo, you wildin'.
It's Zeno here, y'all. What's up, man? Team FOE. Are we PPG too? X-PPG.
Yeah.
Is it X?
Yes.
See.
What does it X mean? Is that times?
It's like a collaborate, like a tag team, yeah.
Kind of like a plus. We're trying to fuse. Like plus.
It's like we fuse right now, bro.
Followers of Eddie.
I'm dead.
Followers of Eddie.
Listen in the comments.
That's what the X is for. Followers of Eddie, right across PBG.
I'm dead.
Follow Eddie.
All right. So yeah, let's get into it. Cause I don't want to say that alone because I gotta put my son to sleep. So today's topic is going to be blue leaders because this format, right? I don't know if you guys are up to date. I know Figs is. I don't know so much of Marquis. I know you got your new job and stuff. Shout out to you for doing big things. Keep it up. So right now in the format, we got like a triangle format, right? We have obviously the top two decks. We have Red Broly and we have Green Gold Tanks right there. In my opinion, it goes like this into the triangle. Oh, look, that's a perfect triangle. And it has projects right there. But blue's in a weird spot because blue, in my opinion, is good against Broly because like you have your counter plays obviously and your counter attacks, they don't attack. But with Gold Tanks, I don't see how you guys really combat that because not only do they have dormant to blow out, obviously, your stopper, like to blow out your stopper, but they also have these cards with deflect. So it's like you guys have the blue players have the best counterplay in the game. Sucks against green because they all have deflect. Well, technically, Gold Tanks has deflect. So it's like you're put in a conundrum where you can't really do anything, which is rough. But with that being said, I guess I'll start off with Figs. I want there's a lot of blue leaders. I'll just throw them off, but I want your top. Let's just go 5, just to give them all in order. Because I think there's pretty much a handful of blue leaders you can use this format that's actually viable. But I want you to rank them 1 through 5, man.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could give 5 to be honest with you. Blue So if I were to give the most competitive, best blue leaders right now in the format with the current meta. It's definitely going to be Vegito first for me. Second is going to be Soul Striker, and then third is going to be the SS3 reboot. And honestly, that's about it for me. And
we have no Baby and no Zamasu.
Nah, I mean, unfortunately for me, like Zamasu and Baby, I feel like are just in a really weird spot. Zamasu.
Baby, I agree.
But Zamasu. The only thing I don't like about Zamasu is its reliability of getting to a certain amount of energy. If you don't see the Zeno and then your opponent blows you out with aggro, like the issue with blue right now is it loses the aggro 100%. And if you're not playing a 2-cost unison with the ability to have open energy, then you end up losing the early game regardless. Because the counterattack Trunks, the promo, is the only thing that keeps you alive against Brawly or Go Tanks. And if Zamasu literally just doesn't see Zeno, it loses. Like if you don't see Zeno, like there is no blue Nimbus, there is no blue Topo other than the Trunks counterattack, and you have to have a unison for it. So I don't want to play a deck that relies on seeing a specific unison, whereas like I can play a deck that can awaken early or that can open up energy for free. Those are more reliable decks that are going to allow you to use the defense you need, which is why Soul Striker and SS3 are up on the list. And Vegito, because again, the awaken early, and then having the ability to have blockers that untap you energy off the leader skill its resources. So that's why, like, for me, those would be a top 3. If I did have to choose after those 3, I would probably put Baby before Zamasu, because again, Baby is just a counter. You counter everything. Zamasu's reliability on seeing in unison really hurts me to want to even consider it a reliable deck in this format.
But the thing is, Zamasu will filter. I mean, we'll talk into it. Let's say Marquis this thing, because Zamasu will find that unison, bro. That's the thing with Zamasu. And even if they don't have it, they'll still awaken by their turn too. They have ways. But all right, Marquis, talk to me, bro. Your top 5, top 3 to 5. I ain't gonna be in order.
All right, Vegito.
Oh, here we go. Vegito. The last one, he gonna be.
Nah, for real.
Bro.
Vegito is the only one that's got a chance, man. Like,
nah, you snap. Reboot. Soul Striker. It's not.
I don't care. What are you talking about? I have a 1 card. Matter of fact, every deck here has 1 card that just stops the deck. Like, literally every color has one. It's just like, well, I lose game 2 and 3. Like, literally every color has one. That sucks. If y'all try, if more than 1 or 2 people play Soul Striker and actually catch his on, it's done. Like, that's it. Like, the only way you can actually win with that deck is if you're the only one playing it at the event and nobody was like,
just saying,
nobody play this stuff. But now FOE have an event talking about this deck's pretty good. So now people are like, this deck might be pretty good.
It's SS3 top last event. SS3 top the last event, though.
SS3 topped the last event. There you go. That's because nobody was prepared for it. Do you think it's going to top again?
I'm pretty sure I was the only SS3 in the whole field too. B.
Yeah. What was it? Was it Eric Goodwin that was playing it?
Yeah, pretty sure like the only
100%. When I saw that on stream, I was like, yo, like that was the perfect time to play SS3 with the unison in the apes, because it's like nobody expected it. But now it's like, as soon as you put Borgos or any of that card color in any of the decks, it's like, well, now you have to side something in for Borgos, or now you have to have an out to Borgos. And then it's like, if you don't, like, you're going to lose resources, because now you're just passing every turn. You can't spend energy because you're not going to untap energy.
What about all the cunnings? Like, I wouldn't even
the cunnings
do
Borgos. Nothing. You need Borgos. Cunning does battle card, and it's leader. Cunning doesn't hit leaders.
Yeah.
You have to do the original ones. That's the thing with the original ones, right? Because there's only a handful of them, which is Borgos, which is it's not even in a core set. Borgos was in I want to say, like, the one after World Martial Arts. It was like an expansion.
Clash of Fates.
Clash of Fates. Least was in a starter deck. The red one, what is the red one? The green one was in a core set. The green one's available everywhere.
I think the red one's Raditz. Is it? No.
Raditz. So Raditz, it is Raditz. It's Raditz. It's Raditz and Kami. So they came out in set 7. Raditz and Kami is easily accessible, but then Black doesn't have it. If Black ever took over, Black doesn't have a card that says if your leader untaps, I can stop you. Borgos, you have Borgos, and you have one for every color but Black. But in all seriousness, both of you guys are on point where Vegito is the top notch blue deck in the format.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you, Fix. I don't know if Marquis knows this. You looking at the new stuff for the Bardock? Does that push Bardock up there for being in the top spot for blue?
No. Honestly, with all the new Bardock support, I would actually play it in Vegito. You get access to blockers. Bro, the thing you don't understand is when you have a leader that literally takes the most broken mechanic in the game right now, that has the least amount of activity, you can't respond to it, you can't do anything to it. There's no cards right now other than in green that literally say activate battle, remove a counter. Like, blue has one and green has one, but it's like, you really gonna side that for one leader? And then on top of that, if it was the obviously tier 0 deck of the format, then yeah, you would side it. But at the same time, it's like you have to have 2 energy for it. Then on top of that, literally Vegito turns one card in your deck just into a win con at any point. You have 2 energy open, you can literally triple strike your opponent and they can't do anything about it other than out combo or negate the attack and waste resources because it's an activate battle skill. Like it's hard to ignore that. And then they're giving you blue support where everything says blocker and restand. Like, come on now. Like
and then that block restand, I think that does it twice on your turn, right? So that's a okay. I'm assuming you leave 2 and then if they just like restand.
Yeah,
and the Bardock engine even has a 1 energy. You can turn 1 crit if you wanted to, and it's like your opponent has to answer. What deck gives you value when battle card's answered? Vegito. No other deck literally is going to give you a draw and an untap. So it's like having access to a Unison, having access to blockers that have double strike and crit your opponent has to answer gives you value, and I think that's one of the reasons why I still play Vegito is because it's like, even if I am creating a board and you're answering my board, okay, well, you're giving me draws, you're giving me energy, like you're giving me resources that any other blue leader wouldn't give me, So it's like when you get new archetypes like that have the label blocker, like Vegito literally is just, for me, it's the instant go-to. Because then if you need,
I think Anthony is a really great Vegito player. The only person he lost to was me. Like, so.
Of course you say that. Stop that. But I want to point out a big thing that Figs mentioned, and I want to, hopefully Ben I could hear this, man. You guys got to stop making these cards generic and lock these things to leaders. For instance, right, you made a whole baby deck. Supposedly you want to push this deck, make it top 10. I'm not gonna lie, those cards are titty. You have the 5-drop pay, the Unison, those cards are absolutely bonkers. But guess what? There's leaders better than that baby Vegeta leader. You're just gonna switch it. Like Figs puts it in Vegito. Other guys will put it in SS3 because if you really just want to play counter dot deck, why not play with 3 free energy? You literally have whatever you can do, but better. Like it's just insane. Like these cards just come out to be generic. It's like you said, I actually about Bardock. You said realistically, you just put in your Vegito deck. Why are these cards generic? Like these cards are coming out for a reason with special traits. Like that's how cards, in my opinion, end up getting hit for the ban list, all that good stuff, man. All these generic cards, man, it's really not healthy at all. But I don't think Marquis knows anything about the new cards. I don't think he got time.
You talking about the new Bardock, right? That's the one I was talking about.
The blue cards too, the blue Unisons too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That is a Unison, right? I only seen really one. I seen the other two, but
the really important one is the one that you pay attention to.
Right.
I mean,
restand.
And it's got blocker, like.
Yeah, I think it was 19, right? A 19K full attack, and at the end it restands.
Yeah, but that's like my thing is like, anytime you just have these cards that literally just defend you and then can die and can let you draw an untap energy, like it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's just crazy.
Like literally, you attack me, kill me, and then I plus from it.
Right. So like in matchups like Go Tanks where like they're gonna blow something up. Like they have to blow up your blocker, or you're just gonna block anyways. You're gonna draw an untap energy, and then you're just gonna counterplay the counterattack chunks, and then end their turn. Or if you're playing against Red Brawly, like you have access to turn 1, turn 2 blockers that are 19k. So it's like even though they have Servant, they're still on par with defense. And then if they die, okay, well you've awakened my leader, or you've untapped me an energy and drew me one, and you're protecting your Unison, which is gonna allow you to have access to your counter cards that are specific to Unison. So it's like they're just giving more fuel to blue, in my opinion, with the new Bardock engine, like 100%.
This is facts. So now that you guys pretty much came to consensus that blue, there's no blue deck. It's pretty much Vegeta, right? According to you two. So let's just break it down. Instead of going like leader by leader, let's just break down Vegeta, right? How do you guys attack the green matchups? You kind of hinted on it, but the green matchup, namely it's Go Tanks. How do you guys counter that? Because I'm telling you, your Trunks pretty much saying, I'm sorry, I can't help you this game, I think hurts me. Yes, you could negate, but there's only so many times you can negate. You only play 4 Trunks from TPs. So go ahead and talk to me about that.
You gotta literally just grind it out and honestly try to do a boonies, of course. Because their counter player is only gonna pop 1 card. So that's pretty deep. And then also That secret rate just give you a whole nother turn, boy.
That's so true.
It's facts, man. All right, but it's more than that, right? Because them being able to loop dormant along with having a blocker, you guys don't have really that much battle cards because the way you guys span the board. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong with the boonies, but with the boonies, your tokens get wiped. So realistically, it'll be the boonie itself and your unison.
So
the first one, if you attack with, realistically, you want to attack with your battle card first. They're just gonna dormant and hopefully take that, because the only other thing I could possibly see, if you attack with your units at first, what would they do? They would dormant and block, so you have one free attack with your battle card, which is the 20k. Actually, not even that. You would attack with your leader to get a draw, so you don't fall behind. So how would you? Let's sequence that real quick. How would you do it as a Vegito player?
I would try to play into having some cards in my drop. I would play the mass and I would try to wipe their board or their blockers. I would attack with my unison. They'd have to do the dormant now.
Yeah.
Or especially if I have that ape that restands, like all right, you negate it, or if you had a negate and a dormant, then okay, you negate it. I'm gonna restand it and attack again.
But currently, right now, I mean, I'm basing on Fix's latest build. The unison you play is what was Zeno, and it was the ape, not the ape, the baby Vegeta.
Yeah,
I don't know what the baby Vegeta.
Yeah. So with that, right? Under turn 2, they're gonna have a blocker on board with dormant. How are you gonna combat that? Because you're not gonna have 6 by turn 2. Are you just gonna keep fighting through dormants and just hope to God like something just happens? I mean, yes, you can stall the game because the guys are 6 shots. So technically, the Trunk CP said, "I'm gonna buy you a turn." But like, how do you guys combat that? Do you just play the long game?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the blue matchup definitely comes down to the long game. So one of the things that actually helps blue is the fact that dormant potential isn't an actual negate. So like, what ends up happening is, as long as you're able to solidify a unison and keep a unison on board going from turn 2 to 3.
Can't have anybody else in there.
Joe?
Yes, man. So as long as you're able to solidify a unison on the board, especially a turn 2 unison, and keep it on the board until turn 3, you can generally deal with their unison because dormant potential isn't a full negate. So you're able to at least triple strike down their unison and get rid of their unison by turn 2 or turn 3. The only thing is, like, a Booney is really bad in the matchup just because of the fact that, there's dormant potential. Like, dormant potential is just going to wipe the tokens and kill your Booney. So most of the time, I mean, unless you're baiting off their dormant potential with a unison swing, your Booney tokens are just going to die. And if they don't die that turn, they're going to die the next turn.
I mean, realistically speaking, you could technically sequence it to the point where Booney just buys you the fence, right? Because if the first swing you swing with your unison, of course they dormant it. You play a Booney after, and you have 3 tokens. Technically, that's just defense for you because the tokens are combo.
No, I mean, for sure. So, I mean, one of the things that I particularly focus on, which works for just about any blue deck that plays unisons, is playing off the Trunks counterattack. Like that's the only thing that's really going to be the saving grace to getting you into the late game, because Gotenks has no battle cards that are swinging under 5 energy. Like the deck just doesn't. Like you're not attacking with Goku, you're not attacking with your blockers. The only attackers you realistically have is a 5-cost Frieza, a 5-cost Zamasu. Your unison, your leader are the only ones that are going to go,
a 5-cost Zamasu that you can't get rid of, dude.
Which is fine.
I mean, you have the Trunks counterplay. That's in your Trunks. That's the only thing your Trunks counterplay will actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Frieza too, but it's kind of negative.
I mean, to be honest, that Zamasu isn't too much trouble. And the only reason why I say that is because Gotenks is going to pop something every turn. And if they're popping something on your board every turn, you're drawing a card anyways, so you're going to get that card replaced off your leader skill. Also, if you have the 3-cost unison on board, you're drawing 2 cards to turn off leader and the baby unison, so you're going to keep a heavy hand. Like when every matchup that I've played against, other than legit hand control, if you keep the unison on board for longer than 2 turns, like you just generate so many cards because of the ape plus a baby unison plus the leader skill plus blocker. Like you're drawing a ton of cards, a ton. But again, the only way you're making it into the later turns with the green matchup for specifically green Gotenks for any blue leader is literally going to be just negates. Like the counter attack Trunks is going to be your saving grace against the Gotenks. And then of course like the unison swing and the leader swing you're just dealing with blockers most of the time. Because of course like they have to play their Gotenks first. They have to play their Gotenks first in order to avoid the counterattack. Otherwise, like they're gonna swing leader, they're gonna get that attack negated. Then they're gonna summon the Gotenks for 0 value on swing, but just to get the draw to.
It is facts. Well, you Marquis.
I agree 100%.
He has no idea how to start that matchup. When he goes to that event, he's gonna get his shit pushed in.
It's a weird matchup. It is such a weird matchup, though. It really is.
So you think you're favored?
Just win.
I can honestly say that's Blue's hardest matchup is Green Gotenks, 100%. It definitely is.
Wait, have you played it in the online tournaments? You played it?
I have not played an online tournament yet. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I play though. So I play Green Gotenks this format. So
look at you, Beats. Look at this guy. All right, so let's talk about the Red Broly matchup.
That matchup.
You want to start off, Marquis? You know that deck? Red Broly matchup?
Yeah, stupid.
Is it just unwinnable?
Stupid. It's the stupid deck.
Like the stupid unwinnable, or like what?
It's just really good, man. Like seriously, it gains so much.
One blocker turn don't help, huh?
Like it does kill itself. Vegito would help because it threatens so much. Like Vegito is a triple strike, so you can't kill yourself too fast, guy. And they always
top that 4.
So Vegito just puts a lot more pressure than you'd actually think because on turn 2 and 3 it's deadly now. Like turn 2 and 3, you're probably at about 2 or 3 life if you're playing Broly correctly. So,
but if they're playing it correctly, you're damn near close too with no hand until you end your turn. So, but it's like
Gotenks. I love playing Gotenks because when you're playing Gotenks against the Broly matchup, it's just really good. It's the only green deck that actually draws as much as blue. So even though they're taking cards out of your hand, you be like, okay, I'm getting about the exact same amount of blue without using apes, and I'm using all of my energy every turn, and you're not really doing anything. Everything is combo power. Like I got blockers, I got revenge. Yeah, you can play another card once I kill your card, but guess what? You got to neg 1 card to do that. And I'm still going to keep plussing and keep drawing just as much. And my cards are going to replace themselves. So that's really good. So that's why
those replace themselves, but at the same time, you have to pitch those cards or take a crit strike. When Broly comes out, nothing's going on. It's not like, no, I'm a 15, 20K lead. Like, them days, give me 2 cards for your hand. Give me 1 card for your hand. And by the way, I'm a 30-side crit B. Give me 2 more to take the life.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't, like you said, you
just don't take damage at the beginning because you're just having so much, I don't know, advantage. Like you just don't, and you awaken so early, so they'd have to give a card. Also, you already know I play Toa, so I'm taking a card.
Yeah, this guy be taking 1 more extra.
In the game, still, period. That boy say free, minus a card, attack. That's another card or a life, and your leader gain 5K for another card or 2 cards out your hand. Like, bro, it's the best card in the game since.
This man snap. All right, we have questions, and let me see if we have questions in there. I'm trying to see them as we go. Let's see. I guess they agree with you by saying Vegito is number 1. Ready to rumble, fastest one. Yeah. Innocent, hatch, neck 5. Yeah. Yeah, Innocent, busted. Yeah, that's one thing. Black Sun pointed out. That's one thing I like about Vegito. It does take care of any opponent's Unison stat in the blink of an eye, just like that. Just you saying no negates, bet fam. Top 2, Unison, so it's pretty much using 3 markers off rip, which is kind of god there. We have, yeah. So, what event you going to next, Fig?
Well, I won't be in town this weekend. I wanted to do the one for this weekend, but I won't be in town, so I'll be doing the last two that they have coming up in November before the next finals or invitational.
Which one are the last two? So the one in Connecticut?
Oh, you talking about for PPG?
Oh yeah, the Pro Play Tour.
Oh, the Pro Play Tour. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to Connecticut. I'm
coming
not.
to any Miami ones, B?
Huh?
You coming to any Miami ones?
I want to, but it all depends on what's going on the end of this year. I got to see what's going on with family and stuff.
Oh,
I'm trying though. I'm definitely trying for sure.
Going to work.
Marquis, B. When we gonna see you at the next event, bro? I see you been talking online, B.
You said you see me. You be seeing me online, or you be seeing me in your dreams? Like I know you probably still had nightmares.
Oh shit!
I'm dead. This man.
Like,
Please say that. Look at this man trying to
Right.
look at you. Oh, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead, bro. We're gonna see you at the next event, bro.
All right, so he's beat me like 1,000,001 times with this one deck. You don't know.
All right.
Win.
Let me say what the story was. He's talking about my Regal Gohan, right? The Regal Gohan was taking it on and running rampant. I took it to gamers real quick. I'm like, you know what? All right. Anyways, I was playing Marquis, bro. Marquis was going in with Vegito. I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm just gonna take this Regal Gohan out. I played this nigga 11 times, beat his ass 11 times, bro. We playing top of that gamers. I don't know if the light finally switched. He's able to get me, bro. I'm like, I'm dead. Like, the one extra time I played this man, it had to be top cut. That's the only time you actually won. I'm like, wow, B. It's what man's all happy about. But anyways, what event you going to next, my man?
I'm trying to, as y'all know, I'm trying to move down to Florida. I'm getting everything into order right now. So hopefully I can get down there in the next 2 months or so.
Word, make sure you get a big enough house for us to come, bro.
January. I am actually. Y'all can come through. I'm getting like a 3-bed. Well, I'm getting like a 3-bedroom, 3-bath.
Word.
Nice.
You might as well get a 5'3", B.
Dang, bro. Why y'all so rich, man? I'm trying to get like y'all, man.
Nah, like you. I'm dead.
Stop. But all right, let me see if there's any last questions before we take off.
Yeah.
Okay, so my phone is dying. Do you have any questions on Twitch?
Yeah.
DH
Zaibatsu said, "Is there a better 3-card combo than Baby Unison, Hatch, SCR, and Golden Ape?"
It's really hard to beat. Online.
It's that. Yeah. Bro. I mean, it's honestly hard.
Counter attack, triple strike. What is it? 30 or 35?
He's 30.
30K triple strike, counter attack. That's what.
So I will say that combo is probably one of the best combos that we've gotten for blue. And the reason why I say that, the Baby Unison, Hatch SCR, and Golden Ape. So essentially, depending on how many of the Baby Unisons you see, the Hatch SCR allows your Unison to go uncontested without losing markers for a turn. So if you literally have just one extra copy of the Baby Unison, your turn 4 literally turns into a kill turn. That allows you to play the Golden Ape for free, allows you to pressure with a Boonie. And depending on what you have, like if you have 2 beans, you're able to even land a triple strike on Unison and have a double strike leader that's at 30K. So I mean, it's really hard to ignore a turn like that, especially in Vegito. In any other deck that's like Soul Striker or SS3, I mean, it's a pretty strong turn as well, just because of the fact that like you have access to 6 energy that you're going to pretty much play, whatever for SS3. In Soul Striker, you have access to, 6 energy as well because your leader untaps 2. So it's like you have access to all this energy that allows you to be able to make just huge plays and huge pressure plays for free because, you get access to a counter that costs 0 energy. So, and then of course you have your Hatch SCR on the board. Like, I don't think people realize the Hatch SCR, like the fact that it does not say double strike, triple strike, dual attack is so irrelevant. The fact that it's a 40K beat stick, like
it's guaranteed to pick a card from your hand. It's either taking a life, you're not gonna combo, you're taking a life feed.
Right.
It's either taking a life or you're negating it. No matter what, you're taking a card from life or negating. Wait, there's no it's on the board. You gotta remove it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like
especially if you're playing double strike and you drop it on it.
Yeah.
That's 50 base double strike. That's off with 1 card a combo. God.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of the things that people like. But I think that's one of the reasons why I like Vegito the most, though, is because in Vegito with the Unison, almost every swing is guaranteed to force a counter out of your opponent's hand. So you're getting the Golden Ape on board that turn, almost guaranteed. Because if you're swinging with Unison, they're not going to take a triple strike 25k from your Unison. And nobody wants to spend cards to do it. They're not taking a 30k double strike off your leader. You know what I mean? So it's like you're or even a 40k swing off the SCR. Like you're forcing a negate some way somehow, and that ape is coming down regardless. So it's strong. It's very strong combo right now. I think that with the next draft box though, with all the Bardock stuff we're getting, the support and the Unisons, I believe there's going to be a potential to have just as strong early game plays with a lot of the apes, just because of the fact that they're cheap. They come out for cheap and they come out from cards out of your energy. And then replace the cards in your energy. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's neither here or there at the moment because, of course, we don't have access to the cards yet, but I'm sure there's people online that are on untapped playtesting and stuff like that.
100%. They're fiends.
Yep. Yeah. I don't play much untapped, so I don't get a chance to really play test a lot of those things, but I'm more of a physical card game player. So a lot of times once I get access to the cards in person is when I'll start, focusing on it and play testing it.
True. All right, we're getting about that time. So let's start with closing comments. Let's start with you, Marquis.
Good night.
Good night, Marquis.
I was expecting another chin rub or a wink at the camera.
I was expecting
right.
Oh, it's me.
I'm dead.
It really does, dude. Oh my man.
Oh god.
All right then, go ahead, Figs. Let me hear your closing statements, my guy.
I will say, don't sleep on blue. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, red Brawly, green Gotenks."
Don't sleep on Vegito, or don't sleep on.
Don't sleep on Vegito. I'll say that because I will say, people think that Vegito doesn't stand a chance, or blue in general doesn't stand a chance. But I'm telling you right now, it definitely does against these decks. And
I think it's. To ask you, and with this, my bad. Go ahead, finish.
No, you can go.
All right, and with this. I saw you play 2 units. A lot of people message me. I'm like, I don't play the deck. I don't know. What is your curve from jumping from Zeno to the baby? Because I know you wouldn't play it on turn 2, play Zeno, and then just go to baby turn. I'd test me some return. So explain to the people what's your curve. Because they asked me, I couldn't answer. I'm like, I don't know.
So it's more or less contingent on matchups as well. So the way I look at Zeno is Zeno allows me to have access to the early counters. So in certain matchups, if I need my counters for the counter attack or counterplay, I have access to it. Also, it is somewhat like a baby unison, because it allows you to get to your turn 5 energy faster. So on turn 4, you have 5 energy, which gives you access to your golden ape. So it kind of acts like that in the same sense. But also it's a board wipe. So I mean, against certain decks that they're able to go wide that you can't deal with, you're able to board wipe and kind of clean slate, start all over. Or if you need the early unison pressure to triple strike against a unison that you can't deal with late game. So it's definitely, I will say, it's strictly a personal preference, very much, because you have to really know when you want to use it against what matchups you want to use it. Otherwise,
Red Broly, what are you doing?
Red Broly, 100% I'm playing Zeno, 100%.
Zeno all the way.
You have to, because you put your blockers on the board. You're putting blockers on the board. They're opening up energy for you to play your counter attack trunks, which is going to allow you to survive the early game.
Green Gotenks, what are you playing?
Green Gotenks, I'm probably playing the baby unison.
Not even trying to go to Zeno?
I mean, if I see Zeno before baby unison, then I'll play the Zeno just to have access to the counter attack.
If you have baby unison in your turn 2, and then you draw Zeno, are you playing the Zeno, or are you just waiting until turn 3 to play that?
I'm waiting until turn 3. No, I'm waiting. But I mean, it's difficult because again, it all depends on whether or not you're able to stick a turn 1 blocker and decide not to awaken. I think it's one of the important things that people don't realize is you don't put the blocker on board and block and then just decide to awaken to draw 2. You have to really sequence the deck properly. And because that blocker, a lot of times, especially if it's Dr. Rhoda, that blocker is super important the turn you play Zeno. And
top 1, draw 2.
Yeah, like people don't realize you going turn 1 blocker just to block, especially if it's Dr. Rhoda, is super neg. because you're untapping an energy for no reason. Whereas you could have took the 1 damage that you would have taken, going into turn 2, playing Zeno, having access to a blocker, which will open an energy for a counterattack, or for a counter card. So sequencing is super important with Vegito as well, and I think that's why a lot of people say it is one of the tougher leaders to play, because you can't just block, draw, awaken. It doesn't work like that. You really have to sequence it properly in order to be able to set yourself up with proper defense in certain matchups.
One thing I noticed about your build, you took out the blocker event. Why? Like, you don't feel like that was a good sense of removal in some sort of way, like just built-in removal?
It's only good against Red Brawly because they can't deal with it. I replaced it with Oob, because Oob is actually I don't want it's an ape. Like, I'm not it's not an ape, but it is an ape because it does draw you the same amount of cards. Yeah, it draws you the same amount of cards the golden ape does, or the draw ape does.
Yeah.
All
right, boys.
So Marquis, so the Oob, if you have a unison on the board, when you play it, you draw a card, and then when you block, you draw a card and you untap an energy. So
it's an 8+1.
Yeah, basically it's an ape and allows you to untap an energy due to the leader skill. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, an ape that allows you to untap an energy and stops an attack. That's pretty thin.
It even stops an attack. So it has way too much utility in that deck to ignore like playing the revenge blocker. I mean, that's the only thing. The revenge blocker is literally only good in the Red Brawly matchup. Otherwise, it's just another blocker.
You shouldn't even have it in your sideboard, B.
I thought about it for the Red Brawly matchup, but there are other cards that I preferred otherwise. So.
Oh, well, go ahead, give us.
Yeah, I guess never mind. It'd be a bad sideboard card because against you, in my opinion, to all the Red Brawly does, and this will be my closing comments. In my opinion, how many field spells do you think Red Brawly play?
Probably 1.
Just 1? You snap. Nah. Still, I don't play 1.
At least 2. At least 2 or 3. Yeah.
Listen to me 2 to 3. In my opinion, I preach this to you guys. Listen to me. This is my closing comments. 2 Planet Vampa, 1 Planet M2. I'm out. Figs out. Marquis
Man over here trying to kill all the blockers, dog. You're ruthless.
I'm telling you, it should be guaranteed. 2 Planet Vampas, 1 Planet M2. You have a Planet Vampa in hand, you search the Planet M2. It's like, okay, cool. It has just utility, like point blank period. But when you're going in, any weenies, like, it was Zarbon, you have the Vegito, okay, pop. You have a Dark Power Mad Sans, oh my god, what am I going to do? Pop. It's just that simple. So, all right, guys, stay tuned later this week. Myself and Machado are going to go live. I'll put it out in the Facebook group. We're going to answer all the questions because there's apparently a lot of questions for these Pro Play Tour events coming up. So, any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to bring it up. Appreciate your faith. Appreciate you, Marquisha. And we'll see you guys later.
He called her Marquisha.